I think the big thing for our industry, which is the food and bev industry, £134 billion pound industry a year just in the UK alone, it's about us moving together. You know, the private sector's been a bit slower to come on board with the social value movement as a whole. You know, in public procurement processes, the public sector, those involved in that have been involved for a while. But we really need for the private sector to get involved in order to really realise a social value economy where government and the public and private sectors all work together. So for us in Action, it's about us learning from each other, sharing, and not just going as one company. You know, what we want to do is to create a movement where all of those in our various private sector industries go together. So Mars is the largest family-owned business in the world now. You know, we're going into our 6th generation of the sort of Mars family, and it's a huge business. You know, people think of the Mars bar and Snickers and M&Ms, but we also have a massive pet food business. We also produce food products from sort of Dormio sauce to sort of Ben's Original, and we employ 140,000 employees globally. So, you know, we're obviously going to be an organisation that takes its ESG program extremely seriously, has a very thorough and developed science-based program, and with purpose at the heart of everything that we kind of do. But here it's about how we take those big global commitments, what we're kind of doing as a business, and bring it into the sort of the countries in which we operate, and then work with others to sort of collaborate on those sort of efforts. So in the UK, we have a really unique opportunity with social value to work together for local and national government, for the public sector and the private sector to kind of collaborate on a social value economy. So for us, that's what it's all about, really. We have our global program, our commitments, and a lot of work that we're doing. And then how do we bring that best practice into countries like the UK where we operate, and learn from others as well and collaborate with industry? You know, before we even started the measuring, we did sort of 9 months of sort of work internally, kind of talking to everybody, aligning everybody, getting feedback. We didn't want this to be just a sort of project on the side. We wanted everybody to be involved in it. So actually the shaping of it and the strategizing and a really big group of people being involved, not just the corporate affairs or sustainability teams, was absolutely sort of key to us. And then, as I kind of mentioned before, that building of the program and the measurement system with our partner in Social Value Portal. I think, you know, not just rushing straight to the solution, you know, using that kind of our famous Einstein quote, and really working on the problem and building that together and shaping what it looked like for the business and what it meant for the business was really key. And now we're threading it throughout everything we do, taking a really sort of true triple bottom line approach where it's not just here on the side, but threaded through every conversation, through every discussion, through every decision, has been really, really fundamental. I think then when you use the reporting system and the kind of the measurement, you can really genuinely show how integrated it is through everything that you're doing as a business. Particularly for the sort of private sector, I think actually working with a partner and working with others is really sort of important. So you kind of get those sort of learnings and looking at other industries where it's sort of gone really well. You know, one thing that we wanted to do in starting this work was to form a sort of a task group for the food and bev industry. So we're partnering with Social Value Portal and the National Social Value Task Force to create a task group where others in the food and bev industry can come together and work together. So I would actually say, if you've not done it before, you know, join a task group, get involved, and learn and sort of, you know, absorb before you start the work. Because actually it's all about collaboration, and we know the social value movement is about collaboration and learning. So start there, and there is lots of help out there to sort of help you shape your programs. Before I worked in this industry, I worked in the waste management industry, which is where my huge passion for social value comes from. And it took one company to start, and then everyone kind of followed and learned and shaped things together. And that's what I've really learned about the power of social value, is that actually if you go together as an industry, that's where the connections and the magic happen. So that's what I'd kind of recommend to people, is to actually work across your industry, learn from each other, collaborate, and spend some time absorbing before you start. One, I think it's because of the TOM system, really well recognised and fantastic framework and system. But what we really loved about working with Social Value Portal was we were coming as a kind of a brand new industry to sort of even Social Value Portal in doing this. And there was a real collaborative effort to look at what social value actually meant within the food and bev industry. How did we really accurately measure it? How did we kind of make it meaningful? So there was a huge amount of partnership working and collaboration and really kind of building that together. And that's what was really important to us. This is our first year of reporting, so it's important for us to look at the results of our figures, where we need to kind of move to next, really working on that continual integration of social value within our business. I think for us it's really important to get it done right and properly. So, we've just got our results in, we're looking at that now, what it means and the next sort of steps. And then the second aspect is how do we now create a bit of a movement throughout our industry, get others involved in this and share our learnings and learn from them. This is really a big focus for us, is making sure that this is not just us going as one company, but working together as an industry to learn from each other.